Do you want a performance luxury SUV? Well, this one could be for you. No, not the bus. It's this, the brand new BYD SEALION 7. In this review, we are going to cover a few different things. It is the driving review, so it's going to be how comfortable it is, its usability, and of course, the range and how that performs. So before we start, this one is the Excellence, so it's actually the quicker one. It's the all-wheel drive. We're starting with 259 miles, so 85%, and we are going back to Crewe, which is 123 miles away. It says it's going to take 2 hours, 20 minutes, so we'll see how we get on, and we'll update you as we go. So I'm going to be using the car as normal. I'm going to have the aircon on. We've got heated and ventilated seats in the Excellence. I've got my phone on charge, so we're going to use the car as normal. It's going to be done pretty much mostly on the motorway, but don't forget the SEALION 7 has that fantastic blade battery of BYD's. So let's see how we get on. So first initial thoughts, I've been driving for 5 minutes or so. It's a lovely drive. I quite like that higher SUV sort of position. The seats are electronically adjusted, so really comfortable. It's nice and easy to find a comfortable driving position. I like the arm support, which might sound like a weird thing to point out, but in some cars you don't necessarily get the support on the door side, so they might find it a little bit awkward to place your arm, but actually this is really comfortable. Everything's easy to read, so in the Excellence you get a head-up display as well, so you can keep your eyes on the road and result in a safer journey. So I do really like that. We've got a massive digital display behind the steering wheel. This is really, really nice. It's really easy to read. Gives you some nice information, so if you don't want the head-up display on, or if you don't choose a model with it on, then actually it doesn't matter because you've got the digital display behind the steering wheel, which I really like. I've noticed as well that whenever you indicate, so for the near side might be a little bit of a blind spot, the camera on the side actually comes on to show you down the side of the car, which I think is a really nice touch. So just a little bit of extra safety there, which is excellent. So a couple of other things I've noticed whilst being on the road for only 5 minutes or so. It feels really direct. It feels less like an SUV and much more sporty, actually, which is fantastic. It doesn't feel uncomfortable, but it isn't too hard. You want it to be a more comfortable ride, which it definitely is. And this, as I say, is the Excellence, so the all-wheel drive, and it definitely goes quick enough. Don't forget, this is going to do 0 to 62 in 4.5 seconds, and it will definitely do that. So excellent sort of performance so far. It's nice and comfortable, as I say, and a good mixture between feeling sporty, having that performance, but also being comfortable on the drive and on the road too. So when we get to tech, we have got tons of it inside the SEALION 7. We are talking about the digital screen, and that now actually shows the satellite navigation. It's the first within the BYD models which shows the sat-nav. It isn't anything new to a lot of people and other car brands, but it is the first one in the BYD lineup to have that. So I'm very happy that they've added that in. We've also got the voice control, so we can say, hey BYD,
yes,
open the sun blind.
the blind is open.
And then that can be controlled or used for pretty much anything within the vehicle, which is great. And as that's opening, not necessarily tech, but that glass roof is incredible. It is massive. It's actually the biggest one in the SUV class, which I think is it's a great touch, but it just floods the interior with natural light, and I'm a big fan of that. So a little bit of a different view for you, just to show you what's going on. We've got our phone chargers, our shortcut features, either side of the gear select. So we've got things like the air conditioning, but you can use the voice control for that. We've got drive modes and volume as well, which is also on the steering wheel. We've got volume control. We've got the ability to change the display or some of the display on the screen behind the steering wheel. We've got our button for our cameras, so we can have a look at what's going on around the vehicle. And we have got our cruise control as well, which is fantastic. Takes care of a lot of the hard work, or pretty much all of the hard work, We are also, though, going to talk about the screen. Just look at that screen. Fantastic. Great view, shows you loads of information. It's large, but not too large. It doesn't take up the whole dashboard. I think it's really nice. So you might be wondering, though, why I haven't got the sat-nav on. So this is currently on Apple CarPlay. But unfortunately, in Apple CarPlay, you can't have one of my favorite features, which is the screen rotation. Some people might say it's a bit of a gimmick, but I really like it for satellite navigation. Now, yes, you can't use it in Apple CarPlay, but that is not a problem. The sat-nav within the car is great, works really well. And now I can say, hey, BYD, rotate my screen. So normally when you say those magic words and use the voice control, it will talk back to you and ask you what you want to do or what functions you want to do or use. I've got it muted at the moment, but there it is. The satellite navigation in portrait. I think it looks fantastic. I think the usability is better. I just think it works. It kind of makes a lot more sense. But let us know whether you would use that feature and have the screen in portrait mode or landscape mode. Let us know in the comments. But that is definitely one of my favorite features going forward. One thing you do get as well with using the car's sat-nav rather than Apple CarPlay is the directions on the head-up display, which I really love. Hopefully you can see that. So another little update for you. We have got 70 miles left to go, 1 hour, and we are on 65% battery, 189 miles, and we will revisit that shortly.
So here we are back in Crewe, and let's get straight into it. After a 125-mile journey, we have got 109 miles left on the clock. Now that means we've used about 150 miles, so roughly 25 miles more than the journey itself. Now, in all honesty, I really don't think that is too bad. I've been playing with the heated seats, the air conditioning, the infotainment system. I've had my phones on charge, so I've probably been using a little bit more energy than normal. Just to mention as well, I've also had the car in normal mode, so not sport or not eco. Obviously in eco, you'd save yourself a little bit more on the battery there as well. So I'm actually quite happy with that, and I do think that if you use EV cars on motorways, you tend to use a little bit more battery, and pretty much all of my journey was on a motorway, so I'm actually quite happy with that result, and I think that's a true reflection of everyday usage. As far as the overall actual car is concerned, performance-wise, it shifts. It really does. Don't forget, it's all-wheel drive, 0 to 62 in 4.5 seconds, this one. And I would also say that it doesn't really feel like an SUV when you're driving. It feels really direct in the steering. I really, really like how it feels to drive. A 2-hour journey felt like absolutely nothing, basically. These seats are really comfortable, and I'm really, really happy with it overall. And now it's your turn. It is in our showrooms in Chester and in Crewe. We've got ones in the showrooms for you to look around, and we've got cars for you to test drive as well. So head to those links and come down and find out what it's like for yourself.